Well, hello. I just hit live, so we are currently live, and I forgot to put myself on screen before I actually went live. So there's that. Um, and actually, let me get my screen up here because apparently I can't do shit right. And I can't hear you for some reason. Let's see here. Can you hear me though? You can hear me. Okay. I had this issue last time. I actually had to restart it, and I still can't hear you. I know you're saying something, but I can't hear you. I'm just putting words in your mouth. Me is how I see it right now. Anyone in the chat? Can you hear either of us? Headphones built in. Why can I not hear you? I don't know. Might have to restart it once again. Gosh darn it! And then I have to go through all the different. 1 minute. One. Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
It was my fault. I joined and then plugged my webcam in, and my webcam has the microphone in it, and it didn't know what to do. So it was my fault.
Gotcha. I was like, Just inserting words in your mouth was kind of fun there for a moment. Okay, so how's it been? It's been a while. It's been at least a month since we've done this.
It's been a month. Yeah. I'm very sweaty because my garage is very hot when the door is closed to keep noise from bleeding out into the rest of the house. So I am very, very hot at the moment.
Well, I rendered my video about an hour ago.
Very nice.
And then I was just messing around with it, and I was playing it, and I realized it was missing an asset at the end. It just like the most important title that I used is missing,
Oh, no.
and I'm like, what the hell? So I go back in Final Cut, and it's still missing, and I'm like, why the hell is it missing? It's like an effects generator, so it's one of those plugins I'm using.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. So I just delete it and redo it real quick, and I'm preview's just fine. There's like no issue. Hi, Jen.
It doesn't render.
But it doesn't render. I rendered it again, and it's still not there. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I just completely removed it, wiped it, and about 10 seconds ago, it finished rendering. So
Thank God. Well, you've managed to narrowly beat me, who had to reshoot everything and just finished 10 seconds ago. So I have plugged into the SSD in my computer, and I can share my screen to prove it. I've got about 150 clips that all need to be. There's a lot of cuts. There's a lot of cuts. I timed it out, all said and done, edited down. It should be about 4.5 minutes long. And it took me about 6 or 7 hours to do that originally. And it took me another, when did I start? Yeah, it took me 7 hours, a little over 7 hours, because I started just before 5.
I feel it. I've spent off and on the entire day editing this. And I realized how unprepared I was because I should have shot more B-roll and I didn't. So it's like, I was like, oh, I got some stock footage I can use. We're using stock footage.
What was yours this one?
About that.
Okay.
So a majority of my plans fell through for the initial challenges.
Okay.
So something kind of just landed down. It was I don't remember. One of my friends went live on their Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, hey, this is one of the challenges." And so I actually just was like, I just reached out to them. I was like, "Hey, you got this weekend available? Like, oh, this is what I want to do. And they're like, hey, this is great. That sounds great. They were super excited about it. Problem is when I gave them my availability, there was like a delay. And so they're like, okay, we'll do it Wednesday, which was last Wednesday. So I was like, okay, we're going to narrowly do it again once again to the wire. So I arrive at the location, and they're like, oh, sorry, I forgot. I was like, crap. Okay. And they're like, can we reschedule? And I was like, no. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just like, no, I can't reschedule, because if I reschedule, then it doesn't matter because it's not part of the challenge anymore. I mean, I guess technically I could have, but then I would have had absolutely nothing. Although that was before we decided to push it back 1 week. But so I mean, but that was a long day. It was hot as shit. It's been hot as shit, all month. But it ended up working out. We were a little bit on a time crunch, so I didn't get as much footage as I wanted to. And I really realized how much I was actually missing today when I actually sat down to continue editing it. I mean, everything was lit well for what I wanted. I did have to do lighting and stuff like that. So ultimately, one of the challenges is video someone painting. And so that's kind of what I ended up doing here, except this is a slight stretch of painting. So you'll see what it is. It basically did an interview, is what it is. It's an interview about their craft. And so, which got me thinking, once again, Matt has an idea, great, to complicate or decomplicate things. I really don't know which. But yeah, so about that.
I am curious to see.
So yeah. And for you, did you get any of those challenges?
I have footage for 3 of the 4, mostly because I don't remember what the unknown one that I don't have a 4th set of things to shoot. I literally know what 3 of them are. The 4th one is just gone out of my head. I don't know what it is, so I didn't even attempt it.
I can't even remember the 3 that I was supposed to like. There were so many. This month has been the hardest month for me for whatever reason. I just
work for me,
health issues, work issues, like good God.
Work has been insanely demanding for me, and so I did some shooting over the weekend. I didn't do anywhere near as much as I would have liked. I did a bunch of shooting yesterday. I did nonstop shooting this afternoon after I got off work. So I'm all over the damn place. So I understand and sympathize. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I'm glad that you were able to do some of those challenges, because I definitely didn't.
I don't have anything edited. I just have like
just clips.
300 clips that I've shot, because I wanted to shoot everything and then sit down and just edit one, be done, edit the other, be done, edit the third, be done. So I've got a bunch of arcade stuff shot. Like, seriously, I probably have 150 clips of just a bunch of different. There is actually a linear, so I will just describe it. And if we want to do this again, like next week or on the actual 2 weeks from now challenge update that we do, I can just air out everything then. But like the arcade one actually has a monologue that goes with it, and all of the footage forms not necessarily a completely linear narrative, but like everything lines up with the monologue. And so God, I really wish I all assembled. The carpentry one is very brief. My dad actually gave me a carving set that he's had for like 30 years when I was helping him move like a month ago. And so I was doing stuff with that. And then the nighttime skyline is a bunch of very, very close suburban nightline photography. Like, just I could not get anything that even looked good of downtown at a reasonable enough distance that didn't look like shit. So I know we talked about this the last time we were on, that I kind of adjusted to almost very, very almost like uh, profiles of buildings, up close and personal kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
at night, very high contrast stuff like, oh God, there's a Andes, which is just half of it's a glass building. So it's this hugely illuminated thing against the pitch black of night in the background. Like just stuff like that. So it's.
So do you,
Do I?
since we don't have anything edited, do you want to send me some clips and just preview a clip or two, or do we want to just revisit next week?
I'm just gonna revisit
Okay.
because it's just a bunch of just shit. It looks like crap all on its own. So yeah, I will have everything edited and in one piece and finally caught up and not be a schlub for once. For once in the last like 2 months that we've done this.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks here. So let me, in that case, I will go ahead and do mine here,
Okay.
hoping that it actually rendered, because I actually haven't viewed it since I rendered this last one. So I hope it looks good, because I eventually was like, screw it, I'm removing that effect, and I just basically pulled the title from the beginning, pulled it out to the end, and made an animation to it, and it was like, screw it, that's it, we're done.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see how. Hopefully this won't be super loud. Let me pull that volume back. I'm gonna remove us.
My name is Rudy Lunsford. I also go by the artist name Sheeps. I've been doing this before I knew what I was doing. Middle school, just like really bad letters, like all the time, like just constantly filling sketchbooks, but then like doing what I now knew was graffiti probably since high school, doing it professionally about 7, 8 years. I think what got me into graffiti was just the art form. Obviously, you know, it's meant to be like, yo, look at me. So, I mean, how could you not? It's just an awesome, immersive art form that like I can be 100% just get right into. My biggest influence to get into graffiti was probably in middle school. I played a video game called Jet Grind Radio. And, you know, I think they didn't really maybe know how many kids or like people in general they were gonna influence to start graffiti. They even had a nice disclaimer like right in the beginning of the video game, like you turn it on, but then it would go like, disclaimer, graffiti is really vandalism, so don't do it, basically. And I just ignored it. Obviously realized that graffiti is, you know, the application of one's art, whether it's like lettering or if it's street art, like with characters and whatever, you know, that's gonna be on a surface that maybe you're not supposed to paint on. Getting into graffiti, you're either gonna start doing it by yourself or you're gonna like run into somebody who also maybe does it. My example for myself is no different. My narrative started, you know, in high school. I ran into somebody who just happened to see my sketchbook in class, and he was just like, do you know what you're doing? And I was like, yeah, I'm just drawing, give me my sketchbook back. And he's like, no, this is graffiti. He was more of my bully before he found out I was doing graffiti, you know, like whatever, you know, like I was bullied in high school, but like, you know, it's, he would always call me Sheeps, like Sheeps boy, cause like my hair was like, you know, pretty much like this, but like poofier if you don't have a hat on. And I just kept the name Sheeps, you know, it just kind of like, it worked, you know. I helped with a couple sneaker shops locally in Austin, and one of the coolest projects was just learning a lot on the job, and also, you know, being given the opportunity to learn more as an artist, but also as a business. And I got to do things that like I'd never tried before, you know, like got to learn, you know, to do Goku in Supreme clothing, or like, you know, a Kobe, you know, tribute wall, you know, after his unfortunate death. A lot of like my heart was put into all that work because of things like that. And it really like connected me with my art, and then it also showed me what I was capable of, to the point where like I knew that just again in my life that I gotta keep doing this. My name is Sheeps, and I'm a graffiti artist.
Check it out.
Okay, that was bitching.
Okay. And there's a lot of things I realized, oh shit, there's some mistakes there, but I'll correct it later. Like some of the B-roll, a little too short. I needed to put it a little longer, but
That's the only criticism I can levy. Like, and I noticed that too. That the cuts of B-roll were fast, but that's it. Like,
yeah.
I've really enjoyed watching that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't just mean like, wow, good job. Like, holy shit, that's something I'd see like, on PBS. I liked that. That was
Yeah,
good.
I think it came out pretty good. So what I didn't know was, and I guess I forgot to even check. It was supposed to have a title at the beginning. I don't even know if it did or now, because of it didn't. Seriously, what the freaking hell happened to it? Hold on.
So did you?
Oh no, it did have a title.
Oh,
it had his name at the beginning, which is what I was looking for. So Rudy is a graffiti artist or muralist, and so I didn't realize to the extent of what he was doing. So he works with actually another a partner. And so after getting there, I was like, hey, I actually want to do an actual full piece on this. So actually, we have plans to revisit a little bit bigger piece on the entire, which is called Color Cartel. So they actually do graffiti and murals for commercial businesses all across the United States. So yeah, so we're gonna revisit that. So on their next, some of their next larger projects, they're gonna invite me out to do that video. So it'll take some time to actually create, but it's one of those projects like I think would look pretty cool. So I actually ended up interviewing the owner as well. So I already got his interview out of the way. It's just a matter of actually getting a lot more B-roll, incorporating Rudy's interview into everything and stuff like that. But Jen in the chat here. Today on PBS, graffiti. But don't do it, kids. But yeah, so that, like I said, that wasn't necessarily one of my challenges, but it kind of just landed, and it ended up working out pretty good. And like I said, a lot of that B-roll was really just to cover up the edits underneath it, but they were far too quick. And actually really seeing it for the first time, I realized that. Excuse me. So I'm gonna probably go back and correct that. I wanted to get some more photos and videos of his work as well. Just it was a time constraint thing.
Yeah.
But which actually led me to my next thing. And actually, before I move on to that, just make sure we don't have any videos from you, right? Just confirm.
No.
Okay. One of the things that made me do it is back in college when I was going through film school, I created a web series called Deep in the Heart of Texas. And it was basically, it mostly was just restaurants. We did Mumford's Barbecue in Victoria, Texas. We did Rosati's Chicago Pizza. And, yeah, you were there for that one. So, it was things like that. And I was like, you know what? I think I might revisit that. I might actually start doing that again, because this could be one of them. More so targeting or emphasizing people doing trade crafts in Austin, Texas.
Nice.
Or I guess really in Texas altogether, but for the most part, I'm in Austin.
You got a lot going on in Austin.
So. Yeah. So I actually considered, maybe revisiting that and creating an additional set of series to get additional items there. So I'm considering doing that, which leads me to my next idea for 2-week film challenge.
Okay.
In the past, where we grabbed a random challenge, my thought is you pick your own challenge each 2 weeks. You don't have to say it on, like today normally would spin for the next challenge, but you wouldn't say it. You would just present it. That way, if something falls through, you can jump to another one. Still have the
Okay.
list. You can pick from the list, or possibly even add to the list if you want to. But I would say like the day of, tell me what it is, so that way I can create the title for the video.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm thinking just doing that because like this past couple weeks, that's what I ran into is all these other challenges. Probably the only one I probably could have gone and shot was the one on people on water. It was too freaking hot. Like,
Yeah.
it was. I think when I was shooting the graffiti, like I shot some stuff outside, but it just came out too terrible because the camera started overheating. Actually,
Oh God.
it just said high temp, and I was like, okay,
Ugh.
not doing this. I don't need you to die me.
Man, that
So-
is stupid hot if that thing's overheating outdoors.
Because I think at the time it was 116 heat index when I looked at.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so when it was middle of the day. It was 2, 3, 4, 4, 5 p.m. It was middle of the day. So
Oh my God.
yeah, and it was right in the middle. It was clear. It was a beautiful day. Just hot as shit. Because you have so much time. I don't know what that's in reference to, Jen, but I don't know how I have so
Going
much
and
time.
doing the restaurant thing, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, here's the thing. The reason I mentioned those is because like this one came out pretty good. Not bad. Obviously, I have it's taken me a moment to realize what I need to do to get back into things. But I think, yes, I agree. I don't have a lot of time. But if we start doing these 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even 4-week challenges where we extend it, something like that, I think that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. Or even in addition to my actual challenges, expand upon that or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, my mini series. Yeah, I agree. I don't have a lot of time. You're right. It's maybe one of these days. We'll see. That's what happened with the last time it happened. I just ran out of time. I got busy with work and
Yeah.
I stopped doing them. So, but yeah. So that's my thought. Is maybe do you have any qualms or you like the randomness?
It's nice to kind of have a toss up. I do like that. However, it is also nice to be able to go through a list and look at something and say, okay, here is something that appeals to me that I think I could do a good job with. I'm going to run with that one this week. Or conversely, I have no time and I need to do something minute, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to demonstrate, technical capacity or creativity while I'm doing it. Because like the arcade thing, that was not like I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to contact anyone. That was something I could literally go in my garage and do. However, the other side, the hand on the damn scale was, there's a lot of it's a very small space. I have a fixed lens. I have basically a 32 millimeter lens. I have stuff in the middle of my garage that I can't move, so I have to shoot around it. And I can't just shoot pretty pictures. Like, I have to actually have this do something. So, yeah, just because it's not got, like, just because it is not some big contrived thing, or is something like what you did, where you had an opportunity, you had a contact, the amount of time that you had to put into it because you had to go somewhere and do stuff. Yeah, that, not to say that offsets, or that not to say that you had like a lack of creativity. That was a very creative work, but yeah, sometimes it's nice to be able to pick up something that's minute that you can still dump some creativity in and kind of balance things out. So I'm good picking and choosing. I don't have a problem with that. Now, if we want to throw down and spin the spinner every once in a while and let the
random
be
week.
Cast,
yeah. Let's maybe every other week. So this week you'll pick it, and whatever we'll do another live next week to look at your stuff. Then which I'll put on the calendar, and then the following week. So technically 2 weeks from today, you'll have another challenge. So technically we're going to have 2 lives back to back, essentially.
Okay, I like that.
So let's
I'm going to pull the list up and see what's on here.
So yeah, the 6th and then the 13th. So yeah, because I kind of have some with, like that's good. I'm gonna pull those up. Filming ideas. Here we go. I mean, because there's just so much here. I know we'll never get through them all at some, maybe one point in my life, but there's a lot. But like some of them, there's one of them, something you had, and I had the opportunity to go shoot it as well, and now I don't. And so I was like, damn, I wish I had that one. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember. Oh, the animal rescue thing. I think I was thinking like it was a good opportune time at that point, but yeah. So there's a couple things like Carnival at night. Obviously, that's one of those things when the carnival comes to town, you might be able to grab it, but otherwise, probably not.
Yeah, that's a very time sensitive thing that you might not land on that when you have that opportunity.
Yep. Yeah, so there's, I don't know why I wrote this here, but okay, I'm going to remove that. That makes sense. Yeah. So, yeah. So I guess we'll do that every other week. Let me just type that in here. Every other week, or every other challenge, rather. Random and pick 'em. Of course, I would assume the pick 'em will be better than the random.
Probably.
All right. Well, hey, look at that. We're at 27 minutes, and we're already done.
Hey, very nice.
Yeah, I think that's all we got for this one here. Of course, narrowly, I'll probably recut that out and re-release it and send it over to them. But yeah, I think that's it.
Do we want to pick?
Oh, for the next challenge?
Yeah.
Like, you mean like you pick it yourself, or?
Yeah. Do we want to pick this week, or do we want to?
So, well, saving for the pick 'em is that basically we take a couple days to think about which ones you want to do. Okay. So it won't be until 2 weeks from today where we'll actually know what each of us is doing.
Oh, so we're not okay. Yeah,
it's like a blind challenge.
Earlier, I'm dumb. Yeah, we'll disclose it when we actually reveal the.
And of course, you can't do something you've already done.
Oh no! I mean,
just be like, here you go. I re-edited it.
Don't get me wrong. It would be nice to go back and, as I learn more and more and more, either reshoot or re-edit stuff. But no, I want to like try new stuff. So
cool. All right.
Like I'm excited to edit the arcade thing, just because there was a lot of all the lighting is ambient. I just used the neon that's out in my garage, and as a result, everything looks fantastic. I think. Like I think that part of it turned out really well. Obviously, it's going to take some post-production work to tone everything down, but yeah, like that took a lot of planning to get everything how I wanted it to look. I think it looks okay.
So, side note.
Yeah.
I have been created my own LUT, put it on the camera, and I've been using that. I'm burning it right to the clip because it saves me so much time doing it that way.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So basically, the footage that I had there was not color corrected whatsoever.
That was all just the LUT stamped onto the footage.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, that, and then
that looked great.
Yeah, I was gonna say I I was gonna put a slight filter on it, like a little more cinematic look, make it look more like film. But I just ran out of time.
Okay.
So, but yeah. Alrighty. Well, in that case, I think we are done for tonight. So I will, of course, we have a schedule for next week, which is the 6th. So we'll go live again at the 6th towards the end of the day. And of course, then on the 13th, where we'll reveal an additional set of challenges there, which will be a blind challenge, in which case neither of us will know what we're doing until the day of.
I like it.
All right. All right. Till next time.
Adios.